My beloved child, every human being is a unique masterpiece crafted by the creative hands of God. None of us is a copy of another, nor are we meant to live someone else's life. From your very first breath, He placed within you a distinct mark, like a song composed to resonate only through your existence. Yet today's world has caused many to forget this truth. They chase after the patterns of others, bending themselves to fit society's molds, and slowly lose the true voice of their souls. Some trade their peace just to resemble someone else. Others wear down their spirits trying to conform, desperate not to be mocked or left behind. But my child, God never called you to be a replica. He called you to be you, the one He thought of, loved, and chose long before the foundations of the world were laid. Do not fall into the sweet trap of comparison. It may seem harmless, yet it is a subtle poison that erodes the divine identity God has placed within you. The moment you start looking around to see who walks faster, who is more loved, who seems more used by God, you begin to forget that you too carry a flame this world desperately needs. Your difference is not a flaw, it is the evidence of His intentional design. Just as every star is positioned to shine at its appointed time, your soul is also destined to illuminate a moment that no one else can replace. You may not sing like others, or speak as eloquently, or succeed in the same way they do. But my child, God does not need you to become someone else for Him to love you. He only asks you to be yourself, honest, fragile, yet willing to be transformed by His hand. The world may demand performance proof and speed, but the kingdom of heaven simply calls you to pause and remember to whom you belong. In the very instant, you can say, I am enough. In you, the door to true peace will open. Think of the wildflowers along the path. They never worry about their colors, nor do they strive to bloom like any other. They simply unfold in the way they were created, and that alone is beautiful. In the same way, if you keep your eyes fixed on others, you will lose the joy of blooming in your own season. God does not desire a field of roses alone. He wants His garden to overflow with every color and fragrance, where each flower radiates its own charm. Along this journey, there will be moments when you feel left behind, when others' dreams seem fulfilled, while you still wander in the dark. But do not let your heart grow weary. When others are called early, it does not mean God has forgotten you. It only means He is shaping you longer so you can stand firm when your light appears. Every season has its time, every soul its appointed path. Trust that He has never written a single wrong line in the story of your life. If today you feel lost because you've tried too hard to be someone else, return to your origin, the place where God first called your name in love. He does not look at your mistakes. He sees only the potential He has sown. He does not ask for perfection. He asks for honesty and willingness. For when you step forward as your true self, unmasked and unmeasured, that is when He can use you most completely. You may not realize it, but the world is waiting for you. Not another version of you, but the true soul within, with your eyes, your voice, your heart, and your story that only you can tell. Remember, no one else can take your place in His grand design. If you refuse to live as who you are meant to be, there will be a silence in heaven's symphony that no other sound can fill. So, my beloved child, pause for a moment. Lift your gaze to the Creator and let Him whisper, you don't need to try to be anyone else. I love you just as you are. Let these words soak into your soul until they wash away every fear, every pressure to be perfect, every obsession with standing out. Let them free you from the burden of pleasing others. For when you truly know you are loved like this, you will no longer need to race to prove your worth. You will live, breathe, and walk in freedom, the freedom of one who is chosen, loved, and destined to shine in the unique way God Himself has designed for you. Do not become a copy of anyone else, for even that is impossible. Every soul is a painting whose colors can only be fully understood by the divine artist. You may see yourself as unfinished with strokes that seem uneven and incomplete. But to him, even those imperfections are part of a beauty still being perfected. Let him keep painting, keep shading, keep sculpting until you reflect his image, not in someone else's likeness, but in the truest version of who you were created to be. My child, there is something I want you to remember. No one can replace you in heaven's symphony. If you stay silent, a melody will be missing. If you abandon your true identity, a unique note will vanish. The world may never notice, but I do, for I am the conductor of your life, the one who composed this song with love. Every person is a distinct musical line, no two alike. When each plays in obedience and faithfulness, a sacred harmony resounds through the heavens. But if you try to become another's instrument, you will lose your true tone, and the world will lose the sound only you were meant to bring. Remember, I did not call you because you are perfect, but because you are destined to be an instrument in my hands. When I look at you, I do not see flaws, I see potential. I do not focus on the cracks, I see where light will shine through. It is through those very fractures that I can breathe life, causing the light of transformation to pour out. You do not need to hide your wounds, for I will use them to heal others. You do not need to run from your past, for I will turn it into testimony. Everything that once made you feel unworthy, I can turn into a tool through which my glory is revealed in your life. My beloved, stop seeking your worth through the eyes of the world. Human eyes shift with the seasons, but my gaze upon you never changes. The world may praise you today and forget you tomorrow, but my love does not waver. I love you not for what you do, but for who you are. Mine. When you understand this, you will no longer strive to be accepted because you have been accepted since the beginning. You will no longer chase the spotlight, for my light within you shines brighter than any glory the world could ever give. Do not fear if you find yourself walking against the crowd. Light never moves in the same direction as darkness. I know you may feel lonely amidst the noise, but that solitude is not abandonment. It is space I created so you can hear me more clearly. When all other sounds fade, you will recognize my voice whispering in the stillness. You are not lost. You are walking the path few dare to take. You do not need to resemble anyone else to be called successful. You only need to remain faithful to what I've placed in your hands. The world will try to convince you that value lies in being seen, admired, and praised. But my child, true worth is not found in human recognition, but in my eyes. A small seed buried in the soil goes unnoticed, yet it is the beginning of a great harvest. Likewise, no one may see your quiet labor, your tears shed in secret, but I see them. And when the appointed time comes, I will cause everything you have sown in tears to be reaped in joy. Do you know why I made you different? Because every person I place on this earth is an answer to a specific pain. Some are sent to heal others, to lift others, to shine light, and you, my beloved child, also carry a mission no one else can fulfill. Do not fear your difference. It is proof that you are walking the right path. The enemy will try to make you doubt it, to convince you that your uniqueness is isolation or error, but he lies. That very difference is the mark that you belong to me, not to this world. When I look upon the world, I do not see a nameless crowd. I see individual souls, each bearing a name, a story, and the breath I have given them. And among the millions I still recognize you for, my fingerprint is engraved deep within your spirit. Even if you run to the ends of the sea or hide yourself in the darkness of night, I am there not to judge, but to call you home. For I cannot stop loving what my own hands have made. And I want you to know this: your existence is never a mistake. You are here in this time, in this season, because a greater plan is being woven around your life. So do not fear your difference. Do not shrink back from the dreams within you that seem unlike anyone else's. Let me turn that difference into a sacred mark. When you live true to the identity I have given you, You will not need to strive to shine, for the light within you will rise on its own. You will see that the world does not need more copies. It needs authentic souls, those who dare to live truly, love deeply, and believe wholeheartedly. My beloved, stand up and look at yourself through my eyes. See that every limitation, every wound, every seeming weakness can become a vessel for my glory. Believe that there is no part of you without purpose. When I touch your broken pieces, they can all turn into light. I will use you, not a polished version of you, to display the beauty of my kingdom in this world. Therefore, do not run from what makes you different, embrace it. Do not hide your light, lift it high to illuminate the darkness. Do not apologize for being who you are, for you are living proof that I, the Creator, am still at work. Every breath you take is evidence that I still trust you, still choose. You still love you enough to continue writing this story with you. There are voices surrounding you, trying to blur the sound of your soul. They whisper, entice, and sometimes scream in the background, convincing you that you must become like someone else, to have worth, to be accepted, to be loved. But I say to you, resist them. Do not let those voices mold you into an image I never intended. Do not allow the hands of the world to shape what only I, the Creator, have the right to sculpt. For you were not born to reflect another human being, you were born to reflect me. Before the universe was formed, I had already thought of you. Out of the chaos, I called your name. Every detail of you, your eyes, your voice, the way you feel and love, was crafted with my infinite wisdom. You are not a product of chance, but a deliberate intention of heaven. So do not let this ever-changing world make you forget that truth. Every time you try to blend in just to be accepted, you are losing the most sacred thing I placed within you, my divine imprint. The world will always try to pull you toward itself. It will say, be like them, live like them, speak like them. But those words only draw you farther from the gentle whisper of my spirit within. They make you forget that you were not created to compete, but to shine. Not to be perfect by human standards, but to reveal the glory of God through your difference. Every time you look into the mirror and wish to be someone else, you fade a little from the image I breathed into your soul. My child, I did not create you to be a mirror reflecting the world, but to be a mirror reflecting heaven. The light within you does not come from being seen, but from my presence dwelling in you. Your glory is not found in being praised, but in being the vessel through which I am revealed. Your difference is not a flaw, but my masterpiece, a painting drawn by the creative hand of the one who never repeats himself. What the world calls too different, I call set apart. When they say you do not belong to the crowd, I say you were chosen to lead the way. When they say you are not enough, I look at you and say, I have seen in you what they cannot see. Do not fear when you do not fit any mold, for you were not born to fit one, you were born to break it. You may be misunderstood, mocked, or rejected, but do not be afraid, my child. Those who bear my mark have all walked that road. Moses was doubted. David was despised, Joseph was betrayed, and even my only son, Jesus, was rejected by the very world he came to save. So when you feel different, it is not a curse, it is the evidence of your calling. I have placed within you something the world has never seen before, a hue no one else carries, a voice, a gaze, a way of loving that cannot be imitated. That is why you will never find peace trying to live someone else's life. You will only be truly free when you return to what I placed in you from the beginning. Live it, walk in it, for only then will the world behold my glory through your life. Let your heart grow still, let your breath slow down, let your soul settle from the waves of noise rising within. For only in stillness can you hear me. Not in the strong wind, not in the thunder, but in the whisper as soft as the breath of the Spirit. I am here. I have never left you, no matter how lonely you have felt. Let these words seep into the cracks of your soul, touch the dry places where the world has drained you. Let my presence flow into those places like cool water that soothes the weary spirit. My child, I know there are days you wake up heavy, as if everything is slipping beyond your reach, as if the world keeps moving while you remain still. But I want you to know this: you are not falling behind, not at all. You are exactly where I want you to be. Every step you take, even the trembling ones, is held in my perfect timing. Everything I do moves in its own rhythm, and that rhythm is never late. When I speak, the sea stands still. When I command, the wind ceases. And likewise, when I appoint the time for your life, no one can hasten or delay it. Stop blaming yourself for not having what others have. Stop comparing your journey to anyone else's. You are not made to run the same path they do. Every soul I create has its own season. Some are called to bloom early. Some must wait through the rain, and some only open at midnight when every other light has gone out. But though the timing is different, each one unfolds under my perfect design. Trust that even when you do not see the flowers, your roots are still growing deep, and in that darkness I am quietly at work. You are not late, never. When I look at you, I do not see delay, I see growth. The years that seemed wasted in waiting were the seasons when I was teaching you patience, love, and trust, even without answers. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being trained in my classroom, where every lesson is written in love. Remember, before I use a person, I always prepare them. Before I placed Joseph in the palace, I allowed him to sit in the prison. Before I called Moses to lead my people, I let him wander 40 years in the desert. And before I send you out, I must teach you how to be still and believe. You are learning lessons that only trials can teach. There will be days when you don't understand why I have allowed things to become so difficult, but one day when you look back, you will see that every tear, every wound, every fall, all of it were the materials I used to build strength within you. The world only sees loss, but I see preparation. Every pain you endure has been filtered through love, not to destroy you, but to refine you. My beloved child, I do not want you to trust me only in the sunshine, but also in the rain. For it is only in the darkness that you see my light most clearly. It is only in solitude that you hear my call most distinctly. And only when everything you depend on collapses do you realize that I am the foundation that cannot be shaken. I am teaching you this not to make you weaker, but to help you stand firm in true faith. Let your heart rest in my peace. You don't need to understand everything. Some things can only be grasped through surrender. When you stop struggling, when you cease trying to control, when you simply say, Lord, I trust you, that is when miracles begin. You will see that I am never silent out of neglect. I am silent to teach you to listen with your heart. Do not fear delay, for I am never late. When the time comes, everything will fit perfectly like pieces of a divine puzzle. And then you will understand why I made you wait, why I took you through detours, and why I allowed loss before restoration. Nothing in your life is random. Every season has a purpose, every tear holds value. You are in my hands, and those hands have never let you go. So take a deep breath. Let my peace cover you like the morning mist. Let your heart know this truth: you are exactly where you need to be. You are not late to your destiny. You are not on the wrong path, and you are not forgotten. Everything is part of the intricate design I have woven since before you were born. Let this truth comfort your soul that I, your God, am still writing this story with you, line by line, breath by breath, tear by tear, hope by hope, until it blooms again. My child, release the burden of comparison, the invisible chain that has been binding your soul, leaving you weary and confused on the path I have ordained for you. Do not let your eyes chase after others so much that you forget to look at the direction I have drawn for you. You do not need to compete. You do not need to stretch yourself to appear tall enough, skilled enough, or remarkable enough. Your place in my plan cannot be taken. No one can occupy your space, for it was created solely for you before the first light was called out from the darkness. My beloved, I have written every day of your life with the ink of eternity. Every breath, every tear, every step you take is recorded in my book, and not a single line has been erased, not a single page forgotten. Before you could speak, I heard your heart. Before you could walk, I saw your steps. Before you could stand firm, I already knew the moment you would rise. Nothing in your life is a coincidence, for I am the author and finisher of your faith. Stop and breathe in this peace. You do not need to prove your worth. I did not choose you because you are stronger than others. I chose you because I desire to reveal my strength through your weakness. You do not need to fight for what I have already given. Every blessing I have prepared for you does not require a race to attain, only your presence in the place I have called you to be and your willingness to move in my rhythm. Some things do not arrive early, not because I have forgotten, but because I am teaching you to trust in the waiting. You look at your limitations and think you are not capable of great things, but I do not see as you see. You see lack. I see the opportunity to fill. You see limitation. I see the beginning of a miracle. You see closed doors. I see the pathway that only I can open. In the very place where you think it ends, I am preparing a new beginning. Do not be troubled when you do not understand why I lead you through winding paths, or why you must pause while others seem to move faster. I know every curve in your journey, and not one road is meaningless. Some lessons can only be understood in the dark, and some blessings only sprout after tears have fallen. Trust in. My timing for it is more perfect than your best plans. When I tell you to stop, it is not a delay, it is preparation. When I close a door, it is not rejection, it is protection. When I keep you in the desert, it is not abandonment. It is the place where I am teaching you to trust in me alone. You cannot see the full picture, but I can. And I am painting every stroke with love, even when all you can see are scattered colors that seem without pattern. Remember, what I begin, I will complete. None of my plans end unfinished. Not one of my promises falls to the ground without bearing fruit. You may be weak, you may stumble, you may doubt, but my word never changes. Even when the wind blows fiercely and clouds hide the sun, I am still there, still working in silence, still faithful to the promises I have spoken over you. You often look back on the past and regret lost opportunities, mistakes made, or relationships broken. But my child, I do not see as you do. I do not define you by what has been. While you see ruins, I see a future being rebuilt. I see a person growing through trials, a heart softening through pain, and a faith growing stronger with every fall. I know there are moments when you ask, Lord, when will I see what you have promised? But remember, I am the one not bound by time. To me, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years like a day. My timing never comes early or late. When your season arrives, nothing can stop the flow of blessing. And when I act, I do not act halfway. I work completely, deeply, and eternally. So lay down the burdens of comparison, of worry, of needing to measure up. You do not have to prove to anyone that you are where you belong. All you need is to take small steps in trust, for one right step with me is worth more than 1,000 celebrated by the world. Let your heart rest in the truth that I am orchestrating all things that concern you. Do not be afraid that you will lose your way, for I am the way. Do not be afraid that you will lose your direction, for I am the compass. Do not be afraid that you will fail, for I am the one who turns failure into victory. I am not only the beginning, but also the completion, not only of your faith, but of your entire journey through life. My child, believe. Even when your eyes cannot see and your ears cannot hear, everything has already been arranged in the unseen realm. I am working for your good, even in silence. One day you will look back and realize that every moment you thought you were lost was actually leading you precisely to where I wanted you to be. And when that understanding comes, you will no longer strive to hold your future tightly, for you will know that your future is being held safely in my hands. My beloved, do not disqualify yourself from what I have prepared for you, simply because you feel unworthy. You were not created to live in guilt or fear. You were born to live in my grace and divine choosing. The promises I have made to you are not based on your perfection, but on my unchanging nature. I do not withdraw what I have spoken, nor do I cancel what I have begun. You may fail, you may fall, but my grace is greater than any mistake you could ever make. Therefore, do not say you are not enough. Do not close the door when I am opening the way. Do not imprison yourself in the past when I am calling you into a new beginning. I am never surprised by your failures. Nothing in you can make me change my mind about my love. Before you knew me, I already knew you. Before you fell short, I already saw your entire journey. I see the whole picture while you only see a fragment. You see incomplete strokes, lines that appear misplaced, but I, the master artist, am blending them together to create a masterpiece. Even the smudges, the flaws, and the parts you call ugly are being used to reveal the brilliance of grace. I never create mistakes. Everything within you has purpose. Every limitation, every crack, every shadow within your soul is part of the perfect design I conceived before time began. When I place my brush upon the canvas of your life, I do not need to erase, for every stroke carries meaning. You cannot understand the painting while it is still in progress, but when I am finished, you will see that every detail, even the pain and the wandering, has formed a masterpiece that reflects my glory. My child, do not let sin or failure pull you away from me. For it is in your weakness that I am nearest. When you feel small, when you think your prayers no longer matter, remember who walks beside you. I am the one who parted the sea, so my people could walk on dry land. The one who calmed the storm with a single word. The one who made rivers flow in the desert, and the one who raised the dead to life. Do you think I cannot restore your life? Do you think I cannot resurrect what you thought was lost? I am the Almighty, yet I am also near. I am not only the God of great miracles, but the Father of small details. I am not only the one who commands the raging seas to still, but also the one who listens to your quiet sighs in the night. I am with you not sometimes, but always. Not only when you are strong, but especially when you are weak. When you can no longer stand, I will carry you upon my shoulders. When you feel you have nothing left to offer, I will breathe new life into you. And when you think the light has gone out, I will rekindle the flame within your heart. Remember, my presence does not depend on your feelings. You may not sense me yet, that does not mean I am absent. I am still there in your breath, in the rhythm of your heartbeat, in every tear that falls. When you collapse, I do not turn away. When you are weak, I do not leave. I bend down, lift you up, wipe your tears, and whisper, "You are still mine." For my love is not conditioned by performance, and my mercy never runs dry. My child, I know there are days you wonder whether you are still worthy of love, but I want you to remember this. My love is not based on worthiness, but on my nature. You cannot earn this love, nor can you lose it, for it does not flow from your merit, but from my very heart. Wherever you go, no matter how deep the darkness you wander into, I am there with open arms, waiting to welcome you home. You have looked at yourself and said, "I am not good enough." Yet I say, you are the work of my hands, chosen, beloved, and blessed. You see limits, but I see potential. You see flaws, but I see purpose. You see unworthiness, but I see the child for whom I gave my life. Everything I do in your life carries meaning. Nothing is ever wasted. When you are confused, remember that I am holding your hand. When you are afraid, know that I am standing before you. When you are weary, let me fight for you. I have never abandoned you in the midst of battle, and even when you feel yourself sinking like Peter among the waves, I am reaching out to pull you up. My child, let your heart rest in this truth: you are not walking alone. I am the one who journeys with you, not only in glory, but in your tears, in your wilderness, in the long night, and in the dawn that follows. You may change, but I do not. You may fall, but I will lift you. You may lose your way, but I will find you. And when you can no longer walk, I will carry you through the paths you thought you could never cross. I am still who I am, the one who parts the seas, who makes the desert bloom, who turns mourning into dancing, and who brings the dead to life. If I can resurrect what has died, I can restore what you believe is lost. If I can turn water into wine, I can turn your pain into blessing. If I can move mountains, I can move the fear within your heart. My beloved child, know that I am not distant like a God who dwells only in the heavens. I dwell within you. Every beat of your heart, every breath you take bears witness that I am present. You need not seek me on high mountains or across vast oceans, for in the stillness of your soul I am speaking to you. The world may convince you that your worth lies in achievement, in recognition, or in being loved as others define love. But I tell you this, let me be the one who defines you. I did not create you to run a meaningless race where everyone strives to prove themselves. The world teaches you to build an image, to polish your outer shell until it dazzles, to fight for attention in order to survive. But I did not call you to be an admired image. I called you to be a mirror reflecting my light. Do not let yourself be swept into the illusion mankind has built. For when you chase after the world's approval, you miss my voice, the same voice that declared at creation that you are very good. Your true worth does not lie in appearance, success, or praise. Those things fade like the evening shadow, but my love for you never changes. The world loves when you fulfill its desires, but I love even when you have nothing left to give. The world turns away when you fail, but I remain waiting, calling your name in a gentle voice. My child, come home. You do not need to earn. My love for it has never left you. The world cannot give you what it did not create. It cannot give you peace, for peace comes only from me. It cannot give you worth, for it itself wanders lost in its own emptiness. So why do you crave the approval of those who are still searching for what they have never possessed? Why do you exhaust yourself trying to please a world that changes every day, while I, the one who never changes, have already called you? Beloved, I know how hard you've tried to be good enough. You've worn many masks, smiled when your heart was breaking, and tried to appear strong when all you wanted was to be held and to cry. But my child, I do not desire that flawless facade. I want the real you, fragile, tender, yet sincere. For it is within that truth that I can touch you, heal you, and make all things new. You are not your fleeting emotions, nor the cruel words others have spoken over you. You are not defined by your failures, your past, or the judgments of people. You are the one I have called, the one I have chosen, the one I have redeemed with the very blood of my Son. The world may label you, but only I have the authority to name you. And the name I give you is mine. You once thought you needed to achieve something great to prove your worth, but my beloved, living as who you were created to be is already the greatest thing of all. You don't have to run to chase love. You only need to stop and realize that you are already loved. When you grasp this truth, true peace will fill your soul like a stream that never runs dry. There will be moments when a voice within whispers that you're not good enough, not beautiful enough, not worthy enough. But I say to you, you are enough, for I have placed my breath within you. You were created in my image, not in the image of a celebrity, an idol, or the fading standards of this age. You reflect the beauty of heaven itself. When you live from that truth, you won't need to force yourself to shine, for the light within you will naturally radiate. I see you when you pray quietly in the darkness. I know the wounds you cannot speak of. I hear your cries when you believe no one understands. And I want you to know this, I understand completely. I not only know, but I am walking with you through every pain. I never promised that you would never shed tears, but I promise that not one tear will be wasted. Every wound will become the very place where my light shines the brightest. Therefore, my child, stop seeking validation from a blind world. Let me tell you who you are. You are loved not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen. You are redeemed, not with gold or silver, but with the precious blood of the Lamb. You belong to me, and that will never change. Live as one who knows they are loved. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in awareness of the sacred worth I have placed within you. When you know who you are in me, you will no longer be swayed by the praise or criticism of others. You will no longer be ruled by comparison, for you will understand that no one can replace what I have placed inside you. I know, my child, that sometimes the pain of waiting no longer feels like a test, but a wound that cuts deep into your soul. You have waited for answers, for a sign, for a door to open, and in that long silence you thought I had forgotten you. Rejection broke your heart. Silence made you doubt your worth. But my beloved, I have never left. Every tear you shed I have caught. Not one is meaningless, not one cry ignored. I keep them like jewels, reminders of your faithfulness in the night. You do not know that every sigh of yours has reached heaven, and I, the one who hears every prayer, am still moving quietly, even when you cannot feel it. I am near to those whose hearts are broken. I do not stand afar off merely to watch. I bend down, place my hand upon your wound, and heal you with love. There are things you think you have lost forever, faith, joy, peace, but I will restore them in a new form, deeper, purer, and stronger than before. For it is in brokenness that you are remade, in silence that you learn to hear my voice more clearly, and in waiting that you are shaped into one who trusts. I do not let you walk through a season of pain in vain. Every moment is woven with divine purpose that I have ordained. Just as a seed must break open before it can bring forth life, so must your heart break to give birth to a love that is mature, steadfast, and holy. My beloved child, do not fear the past, for I am the God of restoration. I turn tears into seeds of blessing and loss, into the stepping stones of grace. You think time has been wasted, but in me nothing is ever wasted. I cause all things to work together for the good of those who love me and are called according to my purpose. You think you have been delayed, but truly I have been preparing you. You think I have been silent, but truly I have been arranging everything in perfect order. What you cannot understand today will become clear when my light shines upon it. Then you will see that no wound of yours has been forgotten, no tear has fallen without meaning. For I, the one who loves you with everlasting love, have used it all to write your story of resurrection. Therefore, let your heart rest. Do not resist the process by which I am transforming you. Waiting is not an empty pause. It is the classroom of faith. Silence is not absence. It is the background music for the great word that is coming. Rejection is not the end. It is the door I closed to protect you from what was never meant to be yours. Everything you have lost is recorded by me, and everything you have endured will be redeemed. I am rewriting your story not with the ink of pain, but with the light of hope. My child, take my hand, for I am leading you out of the shadows of doubt. You will see that no trial is meaningless, and no tear is wasted. I am turning ashes into crowns, and sorrow into songs of praise. Trust me once more, not only in what you hope for, but in who I am, the one who has never failed anyone who placed their trust in me. When you do this, you will find that everything that once made you fall will become the foundation of what endures. And then you will smile in the midst of the storm, because you will know I am still at work, and yes, everything, absolutely everything is working together for your good. My beloved, it is time for you to break the invisible chains that have held you back at the threshold of blessing. The fear you have carried so long has made your soul tremble, as though every step could lead you into an abyss. But that fear does not come from me. It is the breath of darkness, the whisper of the one who wants you to doubt the worth and authority I have placed within you. Stand up, my child. Breathe deeply and release every invisible weight. You were not created to live bowed down, trembling, or imprisoned by fear. You were made to walk in power, in love, and in the sound mind my Spirit has given you. Look back and see how many times shame has caused you to bow your head, forgetting that you are the beloved child of the King of Kings. I have never demanded perfection from you. I only desire that you have the courage to rise again after each fall. Shame is not my instrument. It is the enemy's weapon meant to convince you that you are unworthy to come near me. But I tell you the truth, there is no stain too great that my grace cannot cleanse, no mistake so deep that my love cannot reach. Let me wipe your face. Let me lift your chin so you can see the reflection of light in my eyes where there is no judgment, only mercy. My child, I see the nights when you lie awake burdened with anxiety, as though the whole world were against you. But anxiety is not your portion. It is a mist that clouds the vision of your soul, making you forget that I am still in control of all things. Cast upon me everything that weighs upon your heart, for you were not born to carry it. I have already carried it for you upon the cross. Trust me, for even when you cannot see the path I am making a way, even when you cannot hear my voice, I am still speaking in the whisper of the wind, in the light of dawn, in the gentle rhythm of your heartbeat. Remember, my child, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are an heir of an eternal kingdom. Within you flows the blood of victory, the blood of the one who triumphed over death itself. Do not fear stepping beyond your comfort zone. Do not tremble before trials. I have placed within you a fire that no wind can extinguish. Let that fire rise, illuminating even the corners of your soul that once held fear. For when my light dwells within you, no darkness can remain. Do not retreat, my child. Do not let the voices of doubt turn you back. I go before you, making a way through the sea, just as I did for the people of Israel. I surround you with thousands of angels. No arrow of the enemy can touch your soul. My righteous right hand upholds you, no matter how weak you may feel. When you think you are falling, it is I who hold you steady. When you feel alone, it is I who cover you with my presence, gentle as breath, yet mighty as the wind of resurrection. Therefore walk not by fear, but by faith. Step forward as one who knows they have been called. Do not seek assurance in the eyes of others, for you already have confirmation from me. I have placed within you the authority to face the darkness and to shine light into the dim places. When you speak with the confidence of one who belongs to the King. When you act with the assurance that you are never alone. My beloved child, now is the time for you to rise. Remove the garment of fear, shake off the dust of the past, and step into the new space I am opening before you. Do not look back at what has been lost, for I am placing in your hands something better. Do not cling to what is old, for I am making all things new. Every limitation you once thought impossible will be broken. My precious one, do not despise the process I am using to shape you, for it is not a sign of abandonment, but evidence of my deep love. You may feel as though you are in a furnace where everything seems to melt away, but know this pure gold shines only after it has passed through fire. No diamond is formed in comfort. It is born under pressure in darkness and beneath weight that seems unbearable. And the anointing oil, the oil I use to consecrate my chosen ones, flows only when the olive is crushed. That is why, my child, your breaking is not the end, but the beginning of something deeper and holier. I know there are days when you wonder why I allow the pain to linger so long. You call out, but the heavens seem silent. You remain faithful, yet see no result. You give generously, yet still experience loss. You look around and ask, Lord, have you forgotten me? But my dear child, I have never forgotten. Every tear you have shed is kept in my bottle. Every silent prayer I have heard, every step you take in the night I record. I never overlook your faithfulness, for it is in the darkness that the seed of your faith is germinating. Micah 7:8 says, "Though I fall, I will rise again. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." Do you see, my child? Even in the shadows, I am illuminating your path. Refinement is never comfortable, but it is necessary for you to bear my image. I am not breaking you down, but building you up, that you may stand stronger, love deeper, and believe more firmly. You are being prepared for a greater glory that you cannot yet comprehend. Just as Joseph endured imprisonment before ascending to the throne, you too are in a season of preparation for the mantle I am about to place upon you. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's, for each soul's process is unique. Some require only a few days in the fire, but you are chosen to remain longer. Not because I am cruel, but because I know your capacity to endure, and I am crafting something more precious within you. You are my finely tuned instrument, and I am refining you with care. When a potter shapes a vessel of great value, he does not rush. He turns it again and again, adjusting every detail, ensuring that when it emerges from the kiln, it is not only beautiful but unbreakable. So it is with you. You may not see it now, but every trial is a touch of pressed, my hand, sometimes firm, sometimes gentle, but always intentional. Remember, my child, glory is never born in ease. Everything great is formed in hidden places. When you are faithful in the small things, I will place you over greater ones. When you choose obedience in the unseen, I will exalt you in the light. I see your quiet sacrifices, the moments you choose love over revenge, forgiveness over resentment, silence over self-justification. You think no one notices, but I do. You believe no one knows, but my angels record it. No act motivated by love is ever forgotten in my kingdom. So do not give up simply because you do not yet see the outcome. Do not let go of my hand just because you cannot yet understand the process. Sometimes my silence is not absence, but the patience of a teacher waiting for his student to grow. When you learn to trust without needing to see, you will step into a new depth of faith, a place where you no longer seek signs but seek me alone. And when the time comes, when the process is complete, you will look back and smile. You will realize that not a single tear was wasted, not a single wound meaningless. I will use all of it to display my glory through your life. Then you will not merely be one who endured, but one who has been transformed. The light within you will shine brighter, your words will carry greater weight, and your heart will be softer, for it has been refined in the fire of my love. Therefore be strong, my child. Even if you are walking through the fiery furnace, know that I am in the midst of that fire with you, just as I was with the 3 friends of Daniel. No flame can consume you, for I am there guarding you, protecting you, and causing you to shine brighter than ever before. When you emerge, you will carry the fragrance of heaven, not the smell of fierce smoke, but the scent of one who has been touched by the Holy Spirit, covered by grace, and completely transformed by my love. My beloved one, keep walking even when your feet feel heavy, even when you cannot see the destination, even when each step seems lost in the fog of uncertainty. I know this journey sometimes wears you down, making you want to stop and ask, Lord, am I still going the right way? But what I desire from you is not speed, it is steadfastness. Not long strides, but unwavering faith. For what makes one victorious is not how fast they run, but the fact that they do not give up, keep walking, even if it's just a small step, for with every step I am beside you. Even when you think you are walking in silence, I am walking with you quietly, yet full of power. My Spirit is your most faithful friend. He does not only lead you through green pastures, but also through the dark valleys. He does not abandon you on the road when you are weak, but lifts you up with the gentle breath of grace. He is the whisper in your heart when the world grows noisy, the cool water when your soul is parched, the gentle wind that restores your heart to the rhythm of heaven. Let him lead you into all truth, for in that truth you will find freedom. Freedom from fear, from regret, from unworthiness, and from the burdens I never meant for you to carry. My child, the peace I give is not like the peace the world gives. It does not depend on circumstances, it flows from me. When your heart finds rest in me, you will feel a still, deep strength that surpasses every storm. Though the winds may howl, you will stand firm, because your heart is anchored in my peace. As Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." When you pause to listen, you will realize that I have never left. I am right there holding you with hands that never tremble. My word will be the lamp to your feet and the light upon your path. When every road fades into uncertainty, my word will be the compass that leads you home. When darkness surrounds you, my word will pierce through the clouds. When you are lost among countless voices, just stop and listen. You will recognize the familiar voice, the one that called you by name, the one that spoke to you before you were born. Do not look to the left or to the right, for there you will only find the confusion of the world. Keep your eyes fixed on me, for only when your gaze is lifted upward can you walk straight without stumbling. And when the enemy comes to accuse you, when he reminds you of your past, when he tells you that you are unworthy, remember I stand as your advocate. I am the voice that speaks louder than every accusation. When he says, "You are not good enough," I say, "You have been redeemed by my blood." When he says, "You have failed," I say, "You are still chosen." When he says, "You are abandoned," I say, "I am with you always." My child, no accusation from hell can stand against the voice of heaven. When you fall, I am the hand that reaches out. When you lose your way, I am the path before you. When you feel empty, I am the overflowing source of life. When you are afraid, I am the shield that protects you. When you are weary, I am your strength renewed. I am your safe refuge in the storm, your strong fortress when enemies surround your stream of refreshment in the desert's dryness. You do not have to stand on your own strength, for I have promised I will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 3:1-8. My beloved child, do not forget that I am the Lord your God, not only in days of peace, but also in the darkest nights. I am the healer when you are in pain, the provider when you lack, and the deliverer when you are surrounded. I am not confined to the walls of a church or the sound of worship. I am present in the small kitchen, where you sigh in the quiet room, where you kneel alone to pray in the misty mornings when you feel too weak to go on. Wherever you go, I am already there. In everything you fear, I have already overcome. Therefore, my child, do not stop. Keep walking, even if it's just one trembling step. Let faith guide you instead of your emotions. Let my light lead your path, not your fear. And when you no longer have the strength to move forward, remember this: you are not walking alone. It is I who am carrying you through. The day you come out of this valley, you will look back and realize that I never left you for even a moment. You will understand that the slow, weary steps of today were the very road leading you to tomorrow's glory. And on that day you will smile through your tears and say, "Lord, truly, you were with me through every step. You are my source, my strength, my breath, and my joy." My beloved child, let my words flow into your soul like a clear stream in a dry desert. Let every word I speak touch the deepest places within you, the ones you've hidden, the ones you thought I could never enter. But I am there, my child. I am in the dark corners you fear to face, in the memories you wish to forget, and even in the tears you have not yet wiped away. When you allow my word to soak into your heart, it will not only comfort you, but also cleanse, heal, and renew your spirit. For my word is truth, and that truth carries the power to set you free from every invisible chain. You do not need to make yourself perfect before coming to me. I have never required that. Come to me just as you are weary, weak, or broken. Come with your pain, your unanswered questions, and the doubts you are ashamed to admit. I will not reject you, nor will I close my heart against you. Instead, I open my arms wide. For I am not a distant God sitting high upon a throne, but a Father who bends down, places his hand upon your shoulder, and says, "My child, I am here." There are days when you think I only love you when you pray long enough, when you are strong, or when you do what is right. But my love does not fluctuate with your actions. It remains steadfast, deep, and unconditional. As high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is my love for you. When you fall, I do not turn away. I draw near. When you are weak, I do not grow weary. I reach out my hand to lift you up. When you run from me, I do not chase to condemn, but to embrace you, and whisper, "Do not fear, you still belong to me." My child, do not try to fix yourself in order to be loved by me. Let my love be the force that restores you. Do not strive to cleanse yourself before entering my presence, for it is my presence that has the power to make you clean. I do not ask for perfection, I ask for honesty. A broken heart I will not despise. A weary soul that seeks me I will never reject. For my love does not come from merit, but from my very nature, for I am love itself. And in that love you are safe, accepted, and made whole. My dear one, let me silence the fear within you. Do not let the voices of guilt, failure, or the past drown out my call. When you hear whispers saying, "You're not good enough, you're unworthy, you've ruined everything," remember, that is not my voice. My voice is always full of grace, hope, and mercy. I do not speak to condemn, I speak to save, not to make you bow in shame, but to lift your head and let you see the light of my grace shining upon you. I know the wounds within you, even the ones unseen by others. I know them because I was there when you were hurt, when you lost someone you loved, when you were betrayed, and when you thought no one could understand you. I did not stand at a distance and watch. I suffered with you, wept with you, and walked beside you through the darkness. And it is precisely because of that I am able to heal, not by denying the pain, but by transforming it into the foundation of something new. I turn ashes into glory, brokenness into my dwelling place. John 6:3-7 says, "Whoever comes to me I will never cast out." My child, that is an unchanging promise. Nothing you do can make me love you less. No mistake can stop me from calling you back home. No matter how far you have wandered, no matter how many times you have lost your way, all you need to do is return, and I will run to meet you. I will place a new robe on your shoulders, a ring upon your hand, and say, "This is my child, the one who was lost, but now is found." So come near to me, not with hesitation, but with trust. Open your heart, and let me touch the places you've kept hidden. Let my truth cleanse every heavy thought, every unhealed wound. Let me fill you with the peace the world cannot give. You do not need to be perfect to be loved by me. You only need to be real to be transformed by me. And when you allow me to do this, you will see fear will fade, guilt will be washed away, and your soul will be restored in the gentle light of the Heavenly Father. Rest in my love, my beloved child. Know that I know you every breath, every heartbeat, every tear. I understand you more than you understand yourself. I love you not because you are worthy, but because you are mine. And when you abide in me, nothing can separate you from that love, not death, not life, not angels, not powers, not anything in the present or in the future. You are mine forever. Rest in that truth, my precious one. My beloved, I will teach you how to walk again, not with trembling steps of one who has fallen, but with a heart reborn in new faith. I will teach you how to dream again, even when old dreams have crumbled like ashes in the wind. I will teach you how to trust again, not in people or circumstances, but in me, the one who never changes, the one who loves you, even when the whole world turns away. My child, I know how weary your heart is from holding on to faith amid the storms. But I also know that deep within your soul the flame has not gone out. It only needs one breath from me to burn brightly again. My child, the emotions you carry today are not forever. This sorrow is not a sentence. This emptiness is not your destiny. It is merely a season, a time I am using to shape you, to teach you that everything on earth will one day pass away, and only my love remains. Just as winter cannot hold the snow forever, and dawn cannot keep the sun from rising, pain cannot prevent restoration from coming. I have not brought you into this season of testing to punish you, but to renew you. I have not allowed loss to weaken you, but to teach you to find strength in me. For it is when you think you have lost everything that you truly discover you have never lost me. Do not be afraid, for I will not let this season last longer than it must. Every season has its appointed time. The season of tears will end in a harvest of joy. The darkness will yield to the radiant light of dawn. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven." And my child, this is only a season, not the whole story of your life. When you pass through it, you will see that even in the moments that seemed meaningless, I was quietly building within you a strength you never knew you possessed. I am not moved by your efforts or your failures, for my love is not measured by success. I do not love you more when you perform well, nor do I love you less when you lose your way. Yet I am deeply moved when you surrender. When you lay down your weapons and allow me to fight for you, that is when you are strongest. True strength is not born of striving, but of yielding. When you let me take the wheel, you will find the road becomes smoother, for I know the direction of every wind. My child, let me fight for you. There are battles that are not yours to fight. There are wars that if you face them alone will only steal your peace. The enemy wants to drain your strength, to make you doubt your worth, to make you forget that there is one who has already won every battle on your behalf. But I, your God, have spoken in Exodus 1:4, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." You do not need to wrestle with everything, because I am already in the midst of the battle. When you are silent in me, I will move. When you stop struggling, I will calm the storm. When you relinquish control, I will turn the impossible around. Let me carry your burdens. You were never created to bear everything upon your shoulders. I did not design you to hold up the world alone, but to lean on me. You are weary, but I am not. You are weak, but my strength does not fade. You do not know the way, but I am the way. When you bow your head in tears and whisper, "I can't go on," that is when I smile and say, "Good, now let me take over." My child, I have seen how you continue to try even when your heart is exhausted. I have watched the nights when you stayed awake not to complain but to pray in silence. I have heard every sob, every faint whisper, and I have recorded them all. Do not think those tears vanished into nothingness. They are seeds. And in the coming season they will bloom into grace, into blessings, into the fruit of endurance. My beloved, I will teach you how to dream again, not dreams born of your own desire, but dreams I planted within you from the beginning. Dreams not meant merely for achievement, but for transformation, so that you may become who I destined you to be. I will teach you how to trust again, not in what your eyes can see, but in the promises I have kept through every generation. I will teach you how to walk again, not in the confidence of the flesh, but in the steadiness of faith. And when you look back one day, you will realize that it was precisely when you thought you had lost your way that I was rewriting your story with the ink of grace. It was when you felt weakest that I was teaching you that real strength is found in falling into my arms. And in the days when hope seemed gone, I was already bringing forth a future you had never dared to imagine. So breathe deeply, my child. Lay down your burdens. Release what you cannot control. Let me do what only I can do. Let my peace flow into the places where anxiety has long ruled, and when everything still seems uncertain, know that my hands are holding yours, I have never left. I have never forgotten. You are mine, and I will not allow your story to end in darkness. Let me continue to teach you to walk through trials, to sing in the storm, to love even when your heart still aches, and to believe that everything I do is for your good. For I, your God, am still writing the next chapter, one filled with light, with hope, and with glory, for the soul that was once broken but never abandoned. My beloved child, do not look to the left or to the right. Do not let your eyes be drawn to what others possess, achieve, or are being praised for. Do not let your heart waver when you see them moving faster, being mentioned more often, or appearing to be more blessed. For you are only seeing the tip of the iceberg, the visible things that human eyes can perceive, while the deeper, truly precious work is what I am doing in silence, in hiddenness, in the innermost layers of your soul. You cannot compare what I am doing in your life with what I am doing in theirs for you. And they were born for entirely different paths. I do not create replicas, I create masterpieces. My child, you are not delayed. You are not left behind. You are simply in a different season. A season I am using to prepare, to refine, and to teach you how to walk with strength, so that when your appointed time comes, you will not only touch glory, but be deep enough to sustain it. Do not let the haste of the world make you forget that I measure by eternity, not by moments. I do not use human timelines. With me, one day can be as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. So when you think you are moving slowly in truth, I am aligning your steps with the perfect plan I have already ordained. You see, I do not measure a person's worth by prominence or fame. I look at the motives of the heart, not the brightness of the stage. Some are called to stand before crowds, while others are called to kneel in hidden places. Both are equally precious, for I do not assign tasks by rank, but by purpose. No one is less significant in my kingdom. You were created for a unique mission with your own rhythm and your own path, and the way I reveal my glory through your life is unlike any other. My child, do not let comparison steal your joy. Comparison is a subtle thief. It not only robs you of peace, but also drains your gratitude, blurring your vision of the miracles unfolding within your own life. When you look at others and say, they have more, they are more loved, they are further ahead, you are unknowingly dimming the light I have placed inside you. Comparison is never truth. It is an illusion crafted by the enemy to confuse you, to make you believe that I have forgotten you, that your portion is too small. But I tell you today, your portion is not small, it is different. And that difference is the mark of my hand upon your life. My beloved, difference is not something to fear, it is the sign of being chosen. You have been set apart not because you are less, but because I have a plan that no one else can fulfill. You are woven with threads of uniqueness, tied to a field only you can cultivate. Do not despise the small days, for it is in those very days that I am quietly training your hands for the great harvest. Remember, Joseph was sold as a slave before becoming a ruler. Moses tended sheep in the wilderness for 40 years before leading my people out of Egypt. David watched over his flock in solitude before ascending to the throne. Hidden years are not delays, they are essential parts of the anointing journey. I want you to understand this: gifts are not distributed by merit. Purpose is not earned by effort, but born from grace. There is nothing you can do to become more deserving or more qualified for my calling. It is I who have chosen you, not because you are capable, but because I love you. I am not searching for perfect people. I am searching for willing hearts. And my child, you have been willing, and that alone brings me great joy. Comparison is the poisonous wind that makes you forget the fragrance of the garden I have planted within you. It causes you to bow your head toward the ground instead of lifting your gaze toward the heavens. It whispers, you are not enough, you are forgotten, you are nothing special, but I, the Lord your God, declare to you today, you are enough in me, for I am your fullness. I have placed within you things unseen by the world, yet acknowledged by heaven. And in the appointed time, what I have sown in you will blossom, even if your eyes cannot see it now. My child, do not measure by speed, but by depth. Do not fix your eyes on who runs faster, but let your heart stay firm in the path I have shown you. Every person has their own race, and your reward does not depend on who arrives first, but on your faithfulness to walk until the end. Learn from the great tree. It does not grow overnight, yet its roots sink deep day by day, quietly and steadfastly. Then, in due season, it stands tall, offering shade and stability amid the storm. You are the same, my child. You are growing in silence, and I am tending to you with my own hands. Philippians 1:6 says, I am certain that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Believe that I never begin a work I do not intend to finish. If I have planted a promise in you, I will also bring it to fulfillment. Do not let the present moment discourage you, for the present is but an unfinished canvas. I am still painting with light, with patience, with love, and with my very hand. My beloved child, lift up your head and keep walking on the path I have set before you. Do not look to the left or to the right, for every time you do, you hand your eyes to comparison and your heart to doubt. Fix your gaze on me, the one who knows where you are going, who holds every breath you take, who knows when you need to rest and when you need to move. I am your guide not only in days of joy, but also in the hours of shadow. Therefore, my child, be at peace. Know that your portion in my plan is unique and irreplaceable. Do not measure your worth by others' praise or by the brightness of their light. Let your heart find contentment in being known, loved, and led by me. When you stop comparing, you will hear again the rhythm of your own heartbeat, the very pulse I placed within you on the day you were created. And when you live in that rhythm, fear will fade, competition will cease, and doubt will vanish. You will become who you truly are, the one I have designed, the bearer of a distinct light, the one who carries the mark of heaven into this world. Walk, my child, in that peace. Do not seek validation from the world, for I have already approved you. Do not strive to prove your worth, for I have sealed it with my love upon the cross. You are mine, and nothing, not comparison, not envy, not the voices of men can take that away. Stand firm in your portion, for your portion is not small, it is sacred, it is divine, and it is the one given by my own hand. And one day when you look back, you will smile and say, Lord, I was never behind. I was simply walking at your pace. Beloved child, do not despise your humble beginnings. Do not underestimate the quiet days when no one knows your name, when your prayers echo through an empty room, or when your efforts seem unseen. Do not think I do not see, or that I am silent or indifferent, for in those hidden places I am doing my greatest work. In those seemingly insignificant moments, I am writing the most vital chapters of your life. Just as a seed must hide beneath the soil, so too are you being concealed, not to be forgotten, but to be prepared. Every lasting structure requires a deep foundation, and I, the wise builder, am laying yours strong and sure, so that when you bloom, no storm of life will be able to shake you. My child, the world may celebrate what glitters, but I honor what is faithful. You may think that the small things you do today mean little, but I tell you the truth. Every act of kindness, every silent prayer, every moment you choose, faithfulness over giving up, is building your glory in heaven. I watch in secret, and I will reward openly in my time. That time will not come early nor late. It will come when you have grown enough to carry what I am about to give. For I am not the one who promises and does not fulfill, nor do I ever forget what I have spoken. Do not despise the quiet places, for there I speak most clearly. The world teaches you that you must be loud to have influence, that you must be seen to have worth. But I tell you, it is in stillness that you hear my voice. It is in solitude that you will feel my presence more vividly than ever before. I am not in the storm, nor in the earthquake or the fire, but in the gentle whisper. 1 Kings 1, 9, 1, 2, 2. And in that whisper, I am breathing into your heart the great things that only you are meant to hear. My child, your destiny is not lost in the flow of life. It is not hidden from my eyes, not delayed by people or circumstances, and certainly not forgotten. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. Every line of your life, every turn, every winding path lies within my perfect plan. Even when you feel as though you are wandering, know that I am still guiding you. For I am not only the one who sees ahead, but the one who walks beside you. I do not merely know the destination, I lead you through every curve, so that your heart may learn to trust me in what is unseen. When you look at others and ask, why are their doors opening sooner? Why are they known while I am still waiting? Remember that I do not measure time as people do. People count in days and months, but I count in seasons. And every season has its reason. There is a season to plant, a season to wait, and a season to harvest. If I keep you longer in the silent season, it is because I am deepening your roots. The taller the tree grows, the deeper its roots must go. And once your roots are firm, no storm can uproot you from the ground where I have planted you. I hold your entire life in my hands. Not a single second escapes my providence. Every breath you take is proof that I am still sustaining you. Every morning you wake is a reminder that my work in you is not yet finished. There will be days when you feel directionless, but trust that I am using even those days to shape your spirit. Nothing happens outside my will, and no detail of your life is overlooked. Even your tears I collect, even your scars I turn into testimonies of my grace. Beloved child, be patient with my process. I know you long to see results, to see doors open, to see promises fulfilled. But if I bring you there before you are ready, the blessing will become a burden. I do not want you only to receive. I want you to be strong enough to sustain. So I am training you in silence, teaching you to stand firm when no one is watching, to stay faithful when no one praises you, and to love even when that love is not returned. Do you know this, my child? Every step you take is precious to me. I do not look only at your destination. I cherish your journey. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, I smile. Every time you choose prayer over complaint, heaven listens. Every time you choose trust amid uncertainty, you touch my heart. Do not fear that you are moving too slowly. In my kingdom, progress is not measured by distance but by transformation, and your heart is being transformed day by day beneath the light of my presence. My child, do not lose heart if the world has yet to recognize your worth. Some jewels only shine under a certain light, and I am that light. When my appointed time comes, I will bring you out of the shadows, set you in the open, and the world will see what I have done within you. They will marvel, but I will not, for I have seen it from the beginning. I saw you before you were formed. Every day of your life was written in my book before one of them came to be. Psalm 1:3, 9:1-6. So rest, my beloved child, in the assurance that I hold time in my hands, and I am never late. Stop counting the days and begin to count the blessings. Let peace settle in your heart, knowing that I never forget my promises. When I speak, I fulfill. When I begin, I complete. When I plant, I harvest. And when I choose, I do not withdraw my choice. One day when you look back, you will understand that every small beginning, every lonely night, every silent tear, all were essential pieces in the glorious masterpiece I am painting. You will see that I never abandoned you. I was leading you along paths where my light could shine the brightest. And when you finally see it, you will smile through your tears and whisper, "Lord, thank you for the days I thought were meaningless, for they became the very days that shaped me into who you intended me to be." My beloved, I see what your eyes cannot yet see. I know what your mind cannot yet comprehend. When you stand before a wall of uncertainty, I see the whole landscape, every path already marked by my light. My thoughts rise above your reasoning. My ways encompass the turns you have not yet walked. Therefore, I invite you to trust me, not only when blessings appear, but also in the rhythm of time. I have ordained, in the quiet process I am weaving in each small step that leads you toward the fullness of who you are, the person I designed. Before the dawn of creation, your longing for purpose is not misplaced. It is the seed I myself have sown within you, so that you would know your life was never meant to drift aimlessly through the marketplace of this world, but to carry the imprint of heaven wherever you are placed. Yet do not mistake purpose for pace or calling for comparison. What I have for you will differ in manner and time, in doorway and in path from what I give to others. You are not a replica of anyone. You are a unique stroke of my hand written with eternal love and intention. Listen, my child. When you see others move quickly, do not think you are slow. Perhaps they are running on straight roads, while I am leading you through curves, teaching you balance, deepening your roots in the streams of living water, so that when strong winds come, you will stand firm without seeking shelter. Slow does not mean behind stillness, does not mean loss, and the absence of applause does not mean you are forgotten. This is the sacred classroom where I am the teacher, where I train you to hear my whisper in the gentle breeze, rather than in the noise of the crowd. I see every turn you have taken, even those that seem to circle endlessly. You call them detours, but I call them lessons. At each bend I placed a truth to learn patience when everything slows down, obedience when no one is watching, gentleness when misunderstood, humility when praised, and steadfastness when no one cheers. These lessons protect your heart for the day I enlarge your influence. For I do not want my blessings to become a weight that crushes your soul. I want my grace to become your shelter, and through you shade for many. Allow me to redefine your values. Where people rush to measure by achievements, I measure by motives. Where they count applause, I listen for the tone of the heart. Where they crave the spotlight, I seek the hands that serve quietly. Where they chase swift victories, I look for faithful footsteps. Therefore, do not hurry to change seasons by your own will. Do not pull the dawn forward before its time. For a sunrise that comes before the earth is ready will only scorch the tender sprouts. You asked me to let you walk in your calling, and I answered by leading you through the right process. That process is how I teach you to distinguish the true voice from the echo of your own heart. It is how I open your eyes to recognize the lessons hidden behind closed doors. It is how I soften your heart so that instead of asking, "When will it happen?" you learn to ask, "What do I need to learn?" When you stand at a crossroads, choose the path of my peace, not the cheap peace born from compromise, but the deep rest, found amid uncertainty. If your heart is calm and your conscience remains clear, if my word illuminates you without resistance, that is your sign. And when you see a door close, yet your heart stays still, it may be that I am protecting you from something good in order to give you something better. You say, "I'm afraid of missing the rhythm," but I say, "My rhythm is never late." You say, "I'm afraid of losing my way," and I reply, "I am the way." You say, "I'm afraid of trusting the wrong thing," and I say, "Test everything by my word and the fruit of the Spirit." You say, "I'm afraid of being alone," and I remind you, "I am with you always." And when you grow weary from carrying burdens too heavy for you, I gently lay my hand upon you and lift them away, teaching you the art of release. Release the weights that aren't yours to bear, the expectations of others, the need to be seen, so that your hands are free to hold mine. Remember, a seed buried in dark soil is not dead. It is breaking open to rise. The dream you think has shattered is merely the old shell cracking so that new life can breathe. People call it failure. I call it formation. They say, it's over, but I say, it's beginning anew. They count by calendars, but I count by seasons. And when my season comes, no power can keep closed the door that I open. Learn to see life through the eyes of the kingdom. There even a cup of water offered to the thirsty is remembered. A quiet act of forgiveness stirs the hosts of heaven. A single day when you stand still and refuse to retaliate is a day of victory. These silent triumphs weave together into a steadfast strength no storm can overthrow. My child, do not let comparison erode your gratitude. Comparison blurs your own portion in your own eyes. It makes you forget how far you've come and how faithful your God has been. Replace. Why don't I have it yet with, what can I be faithful with today? Replace. They are being praised with, who is being lifted because of me? Replace. I must hurry with, I must be right. Then you will find lightness, light, because my yoke is easy, and though my path is narrow, it overflows with life. Isaiah 5:5-8-9 says, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Let these words become the rhythm of your soul's breath. When you don't understand, you can still believe. When you don't see, you can still walk. When you don't feel, you can still obey. And within that series of still can, you will grow. I do not require you to have an answer for everything. I simply ask, do you still want to walk with me? If your answer is yes, then the rest is, my work. I will lead, I will refine, I will make the way. I will raise the right companions at the right time. I will close the doors not meant for you. I will guard your heart from pride when praised and from bitterness when criticized. I will give you grace to labor faithfully when unseen and gentleness to receive the new when I change your direction. Let me redefine success within you. Success is not climbing the highest, but standing where I placed you. Not receiving the loudest applause, but pleasing the Father. Not walking through many doors, but entering the one I have opened. Not doing everything, but doing what I've assigned. Not shining for a moment, but burning steadily to the end. Then you will realize purpose does not exhaust you, it upholds you. Calling does not drain you, it refreshes you daily when you are rooted in the source. So rise, my beloved child. Do not chase the shadow of another. Walk in my footsteps. Do not listen to the noise of comparison. Listen to the whisper of the Spirit. Do not demand answers for the whole journey. Ask for grace for the next step. Each morning offer me your schedule. Each evening hand me your weariness. And in the middle of the day, when your heart begins to waver, simply say, Lord, lead me. You will see a small path unfold, then a brighter road, then a sky no longer heavy above you. I know you long for a great sign, but most of my greatest movements in your life begin with small yeses. One more act of forgiveness one morning when you open the scriptures. Though your heart feels dry, one decision to stand for truth even. When it costs you one apology, whispered before you sleep. Those yeses are like quiet bricks lifting you onto the firm ground of my grace. And one day others will ask, how did you go so far? And you will smile knowing it was the long journey of countless small steps taken with me. Believe this, as surely as you breathe, your calling is sacred because it comes from me. It is unique because it is measured by grace. It endures because it is upheld by my hand. Do not strive to be like anyone else, be yourself in me. Do not fear missing the journey, for I myself am the journey. Do not worry that your life is out of rhythm, for your rhythm beats within my heart. And when you long for assurance, let me place my hand upon your head and say, you are mine. I delight in you. Keep walking, I'll take care of the rest. My beloved child, know that your Creator has never made a mistake in choosing where I have placed you. Every position, every circumstance, every road you walk, though it may seem ordinary, though unseen by others, is part of the perfect design I drew for your life. You may wonder why I allow others to advance while you must still wait, why they receive what you have prayed for, why their doors open easily while you keep knocking and hear no reply. But my child, I never withhold blessings to wound you. I hold them back to protect you from what comes too soon. I am not denying you. I am preparing you. For I know this truth: a great gift placed in unsteady hands can become a burden, and a door opened too early can cause you to stumble in a light you are not yet strong enough to carry. Do not mistake my delay for indifference. On the contrary, it is the sign of the deepest love. I love you enough not to let something arrive that would crush your soul under the weight of its own blessing. I know what must happen before you can receive greater things. For I am the one who sees from beginning to end, from seed to harvest. I know which seasons need rain, which need sun, and which need stillness, so your roots may grow deeper in faith. If I keep a door closed, it is not to confine you, but to shelter you from the storm outside for which you are not yet ready to face. My child, I see the tears you shed in the night when you think I do not hear your prayers. I see how your heart sinks each time hope seems delayed, and I understand the ache when you watch others receive what you've long asked for. But I want you to know this: I do not measure blessings by order, but by timing. I do not compare you to anyone, for your journey is one of a kind. Every person I create is a story of their own, and yours is still being written. When you see others being blessed, do not think I have forgotten. You see it instead as a confirmation that I am still working, that blessings are coming your way, just following a different path designed for you. There are things you think you have lost, but in truth, I am holding them for another time when you can receive without pride, keep without fear, and use without forgetting me. There are people I must remove from your life, not because I want you to be alone, but because they cannot walk with you into the next chapter. There are opportunities I let pass, not because you are unworthy, but because they do not align with the purpose I have set. Remember this: everything I release carries intention, and everything I withhold carries hidden grace. My child, I have never forgotten you. Your name is engraved on the palms of my hands. Every detail of your life is known to me. When you sigh in discouragement, I am still working in the places your eyes cannot yet see. When you wait in weariness, I am using that time to refine your faith, to build endurance, to teach you that true blessing is not only in what you receive, but in who you become through the waiting. It is within that slowness that I am deepening your soul a depth that the glory to come will one day rest upon. If I have withheld a door, trust that I have a reason. There are things that if they come too early will destroy you, but if they come at the right time, they will lift you up. A potter does not remove the vessel from the kiln before it is fully fired, for if he does, it will crack under the heat of the Sunday. So it is with me. I cannot bring you out of the refining fire while you are still fragile. I will keep you there until your form is strong, and when I bring you out, you will shine brighter, stand stronger, and be sturdy enough to hold the blessings I am about to pour out. My child, let me teach you to see all things through the eyes of faith. You see delay, but I see preparation. You see slowness, but I see perfection in progress. You see closed doors, but I am opening deeper things within you: trust, patience, and the ability to recognize my hand even in the dark. One day, when you look back, you will understand that if I had given you what you asked for when you asked it, might have broken you. But because I love you, I withheld it, so that when you receive it, you will stand firm and be grateful. I never do anything halfway. Every delay, every wait, every loss carries within it a seed of grace. You may only see the barren ground and the buried seed right now, but I see a field blooming in radiant beauty in the days to come. I never waste your pain. I turn it into lessons, into strength, into living testimony of faith. And when you walk out of this season of testing, you will not only carry blessings, you will carry a story that will comfort, inspire, and heal other wandering souls. Trust that I know what you need better than you do. I know the right time, the best way, the safest path, and the truest blessing for you. When I say not yet, it is not rejection, it is a promise. You will have it when you are ready. I love you too much to hand you something your heart is not yet mature enough to hold. For I do not only want you to have blessings, I want you to become one so that wherever you go, my fingerprints will be seen through you. My child, do not be disheartened. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. Each person I place in a unique season with a unique task at a unique pace. I do not need you to run faster than others. I only need you to be faithful with what is yours. When you are faithful in little, I will entrust you with much. When you are faithful in silence, I will make your voice resound at the appointed time. When you are faithful in hidden places, I will reveal your work publicly in glory. Psalm 84:11 says, "For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly." My child, let these words anchor your heart. I do not withhold any good thing from those who walk in righteousness. If you are walking rightly, yet have not received it, be at peace. The blessing is not lost. It is simply waiting for the right time to appear, and when that time comes, you will see that every moment of waiting was worth it. Every tear will be wiped away, every sacrifice repaid, every silent prayer turned into a living testimony. You will understand that I was never late, I was precise. And when you walk through the door I have long kept closed, you will no longer tremble as before, but will enter with the peace of one who knows they are loved, prepared, and guided by the one who never makes mistakes. Therefore, my child, do not be afraid when I seem slow, do not doubt when I am silent, and do not grow weary when the door has not yet opened. Trust that everything I do, even when you cannot understand it, flows from a perfect love, and that love, unhurried, flawless, and unchanging, is leading you step by step to the place. I want you to be a place where you are strong enough to carry my glory, deep enough to contain my blessings, and mature enough to know that every good thing comes in its appointed time, because it comes from my own hand. My beloved one, let your eyes rest from following the paths of others. Do not let your gaze be drawn to the glittering things the world celebrates. Withdraw your eyes from the race of comparison, the race where people measure worth by speed, success by recognition, and blessing by the attention of men. You were never created to run such a race. You were born to walk with me, to move at your own rhythm, breathe your own breath, and journey on the path designed uniquely for you. Let your soul be freed from the exhaustion of measuring yourself by someone else's standard. For in my kingdom, the standard is not who arrives first, but who remains faithful to the end. Return to the quiet place. There the noise of the world cannot intrude, and every comparison fades like morning mist before the sunrise of truth. Return to me, to the place where you do not need to prove yourself, do not need to strive to be loved, and do not need to hide your fears behind polite smiles. In that place you may remove every mask you have worn to survive this world. There I call you by your true name, not the titles the world has given you, but the name I wrote upon my palm before you were ever born. In my presence, your worth has never been in question, for it does not come from what you do, but from whom you belong to. You are never left behind. Do not let the feeling of delay convince you that I have forgotten. You are never lost among the millions of souls I love. You are never excluded from the plan I am unfolding upon the earth. Even when you are silent, I am still speaking through what you do not yet understand. Even when you pause, I am still working behind the scenes of this life. Even when you are weary, I am carrying you upon my shoulders. You do not need to see in order to believe that I am at work. You only need to know that my love never stands still. It is always moving quietly, but powerfully steadfast, yet tender, guarding your soul from breaking. Though you stumble, I have never withdrawn my calling from you. Remember, my child, I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because I saw in you a willing heart. Your falling does not destroy my plan. It teaches you how to rise with deeper faith. Every scar on the knees of your soul is a testimony that you have fought and are still walking forward. I am not disappointed when you are weak, for in that very weakness, my power is made complete. For my grace is sufficient for you, and my strength is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:2-9. Even when you fail, I have never taken back my promise. You may think every door has closed, that the dream you once believed in has turned to ashes, but I am the one who can breathe life into what you thought was dead. I can restore what you believed beyond saving. To me, failure is never a period, it is a comma in the long story of transformation. When you think you have strayed from the plan, you are often being led into the real path. For sometimes I must allow you to fall, so that you may learn to lean on grace, not on your own strength. And when you return, you will no longer carry the pride of, I can, but the peace of God is with me. Even when you doubt, I have never let go of your hand. I understand that your faith sometimes feels strong and at other times it wavers. There are days when you believe with all your heart and days when you feel lost and uncertain, yet I have not withdrawn from you. In fact, it is in your doubt that I draw nearer. It is when you question that I quietly sit beside you, waiting for you to lift your eyes. I am not afraid of your questions, not angry at your complaints, nor disappointed when you fail to understand. I know that you are simply searching for me through the fog, and even when you cannot see me, I am there, never leaving, never turning away. My child, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and remember that the breath within your chest is my gift to you. Let your heart slow down enough to hear my whisper between its beats. You are not abandoned. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. All that burdens you, the weariness, the worry, the fear, the waiting, is only temporary. But my love for you is not. It is eternal, unshaken, and unfading even for a single moment. You once thought that I was only near when you were doing well. Yet I was there in every moment when you broke down in helpless tears, in the nights when you sat in silence with no words left to pray, and in the mornings when you did not even have the strength to say, Amen. I have always been there, not as a distant observer, but as a father holding his weary child. There are times you believe I am silent, but in truth I speak differently, through a tear that falls, through an unexpected word of encouragement, through a beam of light breaking through the clouds. Do not assume I am not answering. Sometimes my answer is stillness, so that your soul may grow quiet enough to hear my voice amid the noise of the world. Learn to rest in my love. Do not come to me only when you need something. Come simply to be with me. I am not searching for your perfection. I seek a heart that returns. I do not want you to strive for my approval, because my love has already been yours all along. Believe that no matter how far you go with just one step back, you will find me waiting, not with judgment or reproach, but with open arms. My beloved, the world may measure you by results, but I look at the process. The world may forget you when you cease to shine, but I never forget. The world may walk away when you fall, but I kneel down to lift you up. In my eyes, you are as precious as the very first day I breathed life into you. No failure is too great to erase your name from my heart. No wound is too deep to revoke your calling. I do not see you through the lens of your mistakes, but through the blood of the Redeemer, blood that has washed away all wrong and restored you to your chosen place. Let your heart be still, my child. Stop running. Stop searching for worth in the eyes of others. Sit in silence and let me remind you that you are still loved. When you are in me, you do not need to become anyone else. You only need to be who you are, the one I created, the one I still believe in, the one I have never given up on. And if you ask, Lord, do I still have a chance, I will smile and say, you never lost it. For I, the Lord your God, do not change. My word remains, my promises stand, and my hand is still holding yours. You may grow weary, slow, or weak, but I will carry you. You may lose direction, but I remain your compass. And until the day you see fully as I see, keep walking, keep believing, keep resting in my unending love. Because in my eyes you are never left behind, you are chosen, beloved, protected, and led to completion. My precious child, stop striving to make everything happen by your own strength. Let go of the wheel you have been gripping so tightly, for you were not born to control everything, you were born to trust. Lay down the burden of trying to manage what only I can orchestrate. The tighter you hold, the more you lose your peace. The more you calculate, the further you drift from joy. There are things you think must happen, but if I have not yet given them, then all your efforts will only tire your soul. You do not need to force open every door. I am the one who holds the keys. You do not need to move the world. I am the one who makes the earth turn. My child, in surrender there is peace. In trust there is joy. And in the knowing that I am God and you are not, there is true rest. When you let go, you lose nothing. You are simply placing it into the hands of the one who knows better, loves deeper, and accomplishes perfectly. Do not fear when things are beyond your control, for that is when they are fully in mine. True peace does not come from mastery, but from surrender. And when you learn to yield, you will discover that what I do in silence is far greater than all you could achieve through noise. My child, you once thought that faith was about strength, about bold steps and relentless striving. But beloved, one true faith sometimes looks like stillness. It is knowing when to stop, when to release what you do not understand, when to remain silent instead of arguing, and when to wait instead of rushing. To trust does not mean to do nothing. It means to do your part with peace in your heart, and then let me do mine, the part that only I can complete. When you begin to live this way, you will see freedom bloom within you, like a stream of cool water flowing through a barren desert. My child, learn to walk lightly. Do not carry any burden I have not placed upon your shoulders. When you try to control everything you are taking on, my role in that weight is too heavy for your soul. Remember this, I did not call you to be God. I called you to be my child. A child does not worry about what the Father has already taken care of. A child does not need to prove themselves to be loved. My love does not require maintenance. It has never wavered. If you can rest in trust, I will take care of the rest. And when you give me permission to arrange your path, you will begin to witness wonders, doors opening on their own people, appearing at just the right time, and pieces you thought were random fitting together perfectly. Beloved one, when you see others advancing ahead of you, bless them. Let that blessing flow from a sincere heart like a pure stream running through a wilderness. Do not let envy take root, for envy is a poisonous seed. It grows quietly, but withers the soul. It makes you see others' blessings while forgetting your own. It clouds your vision, making you think I play favorites, when in truth I distribute according to each one's time and purpose. Be vigilant, for envy is the voice of fear. Fear that you are not loved enough, not blessed enough, not seen enough. But my child, my love for you has never been lacking. My grace has never run dry. Envy not only blinds your eyes, it poisons your heart. It makes you forget that every good thing comes from me, and that I have never overlooked your portion. When you look upon others with envy, you are saying that I am unjust. But I am a righteous God, and I give to each one according to their season and their journey. Perhaps another is in their harvest while you are still in your planting. Perhaps someone else is walking into their promise while you are learning faith. Yet both are within my perfect plan. And if you remain faithful to your part, your harvest will come right on time, complete and unstoppable. Rejoice with others not because they deserve more, but because you know that I am good. When you celebrate the blessings of others, you open the door to your own. Shared joy does not diminish your portion, it multiplies it. Those who bless will always be blessed, for that kind of heart mirrors my own nature. I am the one who does not envy, who does not withhold, who does not measure sparingly. I give abundantly, so that whoever receives grace may become a vessel of grace for others. Remember, my child, when you bless others, you are sowing seeds in your own field. Every blessing spoken is a seed of love planted, and I will cause it to sprout in your life. When you rejoice with those who are lifted up, I will lift you in due time. When you praise the favor on others, I will multiply that favor upon you. And when you learn to honor the calling upon someone else's life, I will make your own calling steadfast and stronger than ever before. Be careful, my child, for envy is the silent thief of joy. It makes you feel lacking, even while standing in the midst of the grace I have given. It turns your eyes upward only to see others instead of looking around and finding me. It drives you to chase after the illusion of enough, never realizing that you already have abundance. But when you learn to give thanks, the world around you will expand. When you rejoice for others, your heart will grow lighter, and when you trust that I am good, you will no longer fear that your portion has been taken away. My beloved child, learn to live with a grateful heart. Each morning, when you awaken, count your blessings instead of your lacks. Look around and notice the small things I have placed in your life: breath, light, family, faith, and hope. All these are proof that I am still at work, that my eyes have never turned away from you. When you give thanks, your soul becomes rich. When you bless others, you become a source of blessing. And when you live in trust, you no longer need to control anything, for you will know that everything rests securely in your Father's hands. My child, loosen your grip and let your heart rest in me. I do not ask you to strain to prove your faith. I only ask you to believe sincerely. You do not need to prove your worth through achievements, for your value is defined by the one who created you. Do not worry when others move faster, for some journeys are beautiful only when taken slowly. There are blessings that bloom only when you have the patience to wait for the season. Remember, I am the one who began the good work in you, and I will bring it to completion. Philippians 1:6. Everything unfolding is within my hands. Surrender, release, bless, and believe. For when you stop striving to do everything by your own strength, you will see me moving. When you cease to envy, joy will return. When you stop controlling, miracles will appear. And when you choose to rest in me, you will discover a wondrous truth. The world does not depend on you to keep turning, for I am and will always be the one who sustains it perfectly, on time, and full of grace. Thank you for listening to today's message. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may receive the living word to build an unshakable faith and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.